Welcome to the 6th edition of the Roundtable Podcast. We invite you all, if this is your first time listening, to go back and check out some of the other ones. Like, comment, subscribe, share. And we will start off with our cast today of our characters. Starting with my left, who do we have joining us today?
I ain't no character, but this Kiko, y'all. What up?
Boop, 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 boop. Can't breathe the first name, last name.
This is Alex.
This is the crowd favorite, Torey.
And as your host today, you also got Marion, a.k.a. Monk. We have a bevy of topics today. We're going to start with the first one.
No, let's start with Kyle question.
Okay, good suggestion. Want to give a shout out to my man Kyle Sheffield. Thanks for the question, brother. And the question is, when should a woman pursue child support from a man, and what factors make a woman pursue child support?
I feel as though just based upon, my mama put my daddy on child support, my sisters putting their kids' daddy on child support. When the man stopped taking care of his child financially, emotionally, everything, that's when you ask for child support. But if a man is there buying, shoes, school clothes, toys, he's participating in that child life, taking them to games and stuff like that, why would you go out of your way and put them on child support when they're actively in their life?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me ask this question. Let's say your baby's father, your kid's father, lost his job. So he can't really contribute financially, but he's there to babysit while you go to work. He's there doing other things. Do you think he should still be put on child support?
No, because at the end of the day, if he's there. Like, it's saving me money without having to put that baby in daycare.
I agree with Kiko, and the second part of it I like because you said what factors, because there are times where a woman will not put a man on child support, but if you go out and get it, but they're not together.
Girl.
Yeah, but if he gets a girlfriend,
right.
All of a sudden you want to put him on child support because you're mad.
Spiteful.
Yeah, like he's supposed to stay single or something, or if he, like you said, if he's there and y'all together, because there have been times where, unfortunately, people have been together, had a kid, and then they broke up. Mm-hmm. So it's like, they have a kid, maybe the kid 2 years old, and things just aren't the same, and they break up. And even though the dad is still there, the woman will go out and put him on child support just because they're not together anymore.
I was talking to I'm still in contact with him. This man has, I won't say legally custody of the child, but the child permanently lives with him. And he does everything, but the girl still have him on child support.
Well, he can fight that.
He's been for years.
The unfair thing about that, though, is that when it comes to family court, it's very, very catered to the woman in this country. So. Just like that, a guy who kid just died with a boyfriend and a baby mama killed her. He was in court fighting for 2 years trying to get custody of his daughter. And, he had videos of her saying, the mom was abusing him and, abusing her, and she got bruises and black eyes and stuff. And the court system is still, giving the mom the benefit of the custody over him.
Now, what state that was in?
I don't know what state that was in when that happened. But
you are right, though. The system is very much skewed towards the woman.
Yeah, like the woman, in order for a man to get custody over a woman, he has to, A, prove that she's an unfit parent, or B, she has to just give up her rights.
Or C, have money.
Yeah, that could be.
And come out the ass.
Now, that's not necessarily true either, because even though he got money, like you said, in that situation, the reason why he probably got custody, but she probably still get child support because he has money. Because there's a lot of times where men will have money and get custody of the kids, but they still pay the woman child support.
Right.
Which is crazy to me.
It is. I got 4 kids, and I've never been in this situation. I've never had to be put on child support. I don't think any man who calls himself a man should not be there to take care of his kids. That's just a natural inclination if you have kids. So you can agree. You have children.
I definitely agree.
You know what I'm saying? It's a natural inclination to take care of your own. But like you said, there are some spiteful women out there, and the factors for them putting a man on child support a lot of times are bullshit.
Emotional.
Yeah. Exactly. Spiteful, emotional, vengeful.
Miserable.
Yeah, but see, on the flip side of that, though, there's also women who will refuse to put a man on child support because maybe she still got feelings for him, or hoping, or she think that if she does it, it's going to make him not like her anymore. You know what I'm saying? You know he's not taking care of his kid.
I agree with you on that because sometimes, like, some men have a habit of saying, if I can't be with you, then I can't be around the kids.
And the kids.
I've heard dudes say ignorant shit like that. And, like, I feel like some girls do hold back on doing child support because sometimes if a man feels like he's paying child support, he feels like, you know what, the emotional part of that, I can go and just detract from that. Like, sometimes they'll be like, if I'm paying for the child, some people do think like that. Like, the whole child support system has just been rigged up and just abused and fucking abused.
I agree.
Yeah.
No woman, like, for instance, no woman don't have to show receipts. I feel like receipts should be shown.
Yeah.
It should be, I feel like a woman should be able to, if they're going to do child support, both parent, the mom and the dad's income has to be laid on the table where they know, okay, this is going on. You know what I mean?
This is what this child support is actually going to.
Exactly. Like, you got to show proof that you're not able to pay for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now,
You
this
need
is the
his
thing.
support.
It's in, I think in Missouri, there's a big thing about they have child support now on the card. And they have it to where they can't buy certain things with the child support money. And women are getting, there was women online getting up, like on Facebook, I was reading a story, and women are like, and they like, they don't want you paying rent with it. They're like, I should do whatever I want to with it because it's for the child. But it's like, if you get your nails done, it's not for the child. You get your hair done, it's not for the child.
Now I can see if they did put that money towards the rent because that baby still have to stay up under.
I understand that,
I can
but
understand
there was
that.
literally a woman who was saying that she uses the child support money to pay her kids part of the rent. Your kid is 5. How do they have a part of the rent? Like, that makes no sense. Like, you're saying... And then there's women who will take the child support and spend it on themselves and then turn around and ask the father, well, your son needs shoes. Your son needs this. And it's like...
What happened to that money that they took out? I mean, I don't got no problem with it, but let me know where my child support is going. Is it taking care of my child or is it taking care of your necessities or... A
lot of women, they use child support to live...
You know that.
Above their means. Like, some kids don't have to have private school. I've known motherfuckers, little kids that came out of regular public school and succeeded.
Yeah.
Like, kids don't need private school. Like, it's to the point where they like to, well, I won't say they might go for famous people, but I've known some girls that they use child support money and they use it to live beyond their means. Shit, they start looking real nice. You know what I mean?
My aunt is
looking like money.
My aunt is a kindergarten teacher in Detroit. And when I was in high school, my high school was close to her, where she worked at. So some days, yes, I would skip school, but some days I would go there and help her with her class. And you know, we all did, me and my cousins or whatever. And there was times where she would literally. Okay, Kiko's drawing a penis on the desk. I don't know why. But
I was wondering what the hell was going on just now.
But there's days where we would like she greets to her kids as they come in with the parents. And you would see women coming in with their kids, snotty nose. They wore uniforms, dirty pants, dirty shirt, snotty nose, hair not brushed. She got on Gucci, Louis, Fendi, what I'm saying, nails done, hair done, everything he did, and then saying stuff like, "Oh, my husband, his baby, the baby daddy needs to get him this and that." And it's like, I seen the thing where a kid was going on a field trip with my aunts, and she didn't have money for the field trip, and she didn't have the money for the field trip, and she was asking her mom, like, "Oh, Mom, can I get some money for the field trip?" And she's like, "I ain't got no money for your field trip." And she's like, "What about the money my daddy sent me?" And she's like, "That's my money." Like, that's you take the money and just like, do whatever with it, and then you ain't got money for the kid, and it's totally money for the kid. But then,
I said these were receipts.
Like, but then you're arguing against this card that says you shouldn't. Yeah, then you're arguing against this card that says you can't spend certain things that's supposed to be for the kid on yourself. Like, that's... Right. I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, the kid does live with you, but you can't... I would say you can't use some money for the rent, but you shouldn't be taking the child support money and using it for rent, and using your money for everything else. Like you said, some people take the child support and use it as a second income. It's not a second income. It's for the kid.
It's support for the child.
So do you think... How do y'all look at, like, if you're on child support, do you feel like there's no money, there's no extra money that needs to be asked for? Like, say I get put on child support, They getting $500.
Every once in a while, I think it's
So
okay.
Yeah.
that means I still gotta buy some shoes outside of that child support. How do you
It
feel
depends
about
on
that?
the amount that I think it depends on the amount that the mother is receiving.
Right.
Yeah.
If you got 2 kids by a man and you getting $1,000 a month for child support, there's no reason he should have to come out
Yeah.
for anything extra. You know what I'm saying? That's just an example. I'm not saying that's the case as an example.
Yeah.
But if the amount that you're paying is low,
Yeah.
then yeah, of course you should still. If your child needs shoes, go buy your child shoes. If your child needs a little something extra, take care of it that way. But I think it depends on the amount that the woman is
And
receiving.
then my thing is
child
this.
support.
Also, it should be a necessity for them. Like you said, if he's paying $1,000 a month, maybe he may want to go out and buy them shoes. But the women shouldn't look at him like you have despite the fact that you're paying this, you have to do this. You have to pay this also, or they need shoes, or you get $1,000 a month. Like you should be able to support the child with that.
Definitely.
Like if you spend $20 a day on a child, that's $600 a month. You get $1,000, like
Exactly.
and you're not spending $20 a day on a kid.
Exactly.
Well, I agree with both of y'all. I know a guy, he has 3 kids, but one of the baby mamas, she's like a lawyer. She makes like
Shitload of money.
shitload of money. He
And
still
still
pays
asking
for that
for
one kid. He pays like $1,200 a month
Yeah.
But see, no kid costs that amount
for
of
one
money
kid because he has a good job too.
It might be more for her, and she might use this money for the child. You never know. She might be like, hey, boom. Like, I remember when my dad was on child support. I had my car.
Well, that's fine, but
I still got
$1,200
the
and you
car
still
with
want extra
$30
money
on
from
that
me, and
bitch.
you make
Right.
6 figures. Like,
And see, I think that's where it gets blurry, because child support now is not based on what the child needs. It's based on the income of the individual.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Men shouldn't have the right to know where their money's going.
Exactly.
And have it on black and white.
Also, another thing that I run into a lot when it comes to child support is women acting like child support is only for women. Like if a man gets child support from a woman, how dare you get child support from her? And you supposed to be a man. Blah, blah. So just because he's a man, he doesn't need help raising this kid. Like if you're a woman, you need help.
You the man, make it happen.
Exactly. Like just because you're a female, you're supposed to get child support, or you're supposed to get help from the man. But if a man is raising his kids single-handedly, the wife has a right. I mean, the baby mama has a right to just not be there and not pay anything. Like that's a double. That's a
very big double standard.
yeah. That's a double standard. And I've seen that before when women act like this man. Like I've seen the thing about a man posting the thing where he got a child support check from his from his baby mama. And he was like, yeah, you got my first child support check, because she was trying to deny the kids and all this other stuff. Like, you don't know how you deny the kids when you had them. But anyway, and women on there like, a man shouldn't be getting child support from a woman. So you saying that if a woman don't want to be in her kid's life, she could just not want to be in her kid's life and not have to worry about it. But if a man don't want to be in his kid's life, he should have to pay child support. Like,
see, with my dad, when he was on child support, I guess it was an agreement with him and my mom, because my daddy knew anytime he saw me, I had my little black card on me. I used my money. I utilized my money. My mom still would do for me, but that was like, okay, I'll make sure I got what he needs, rub around, whatever money, whatever he wants, that's what you know. So I guess they came to an agreement. But like, as far as anything, I really do think women should be after every month, or like how they do food stamps, how y'all got to do another review on food stamps and WIC, do a review on child support. People with incomes, a woman can be flat out broke and don't have a job, and then 3 months later she get a great job. They don't check into that or look into that. Sometimes money just be misused, and I feel like to answer the question, because I never answered that question, when a woman should pursue child support, I feel like it just depends on her financial circumstances and her marital status at the time. If she's single and you're not with that man, regardless if he's taking care of that child or not, you need to put them on child support as soon as possible. You never know how y'all relationship flows.
I can see that.
Now, if you know what I'm saying, y'all in a committed relationship, or y'all get along, because you know how shit can be messy.
Yeah.
Girl can get pregnant 2 months later, their relationship is just like done,
Right.
It ain't even started before it's done. So I feel like a woman should do that originally, from the jump.
Like I've seen situations where a man and a woman live in the same house, take care of the kids together, and he's on child support.
I've seen that.
Like that's
I don't understand it, but I've seen it.
Yeah, and then I've seen situations where a
weird.
woman single-handedly take care of this kid, and the dad hasn't been around since the kid was born.
But he's
and
not
she
on
don't
child
want to.
support.
Yeah, she don't want to put him on child support, or maybe she's like I said, she's
Or
somehow
maybe
feeling
they
for
just
him,
can't find
or
him.
maybe he just child support to find your motherfucking ass.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
not true.
I'm telling you, one time, man,
My
they had.
sister is going through it right now. My sister is going through it right now.
Let me say, one morning I woke up. You know, I lived with my grandparents. One morning I woke up and the cops had our house surrounded. My grandparents' house. My grandparents, they're older people. You know what I'm saying? They're religious, so it's like, why are they here?
Right.
They was there for my uncle for missed child support payments. Like,
Yeah, they'll take your license.
yeah, they'll come. They will come.
all of that be
Like it was like
so
7
messed
a.m.
up.
and they just surrounded the house
It takes
for child
time for
support.
that to build up like that.
Yeah, trust me, they will find you. Like these it's dudes out here who might think they're getting away with it,
Nah, they're not.
and they think they avoiding the law. Right, you gonna go to a Burger King and the nigga taking your order gonna be.
So how do you feel about the New York law that even it's not based off of the man's income, it's based off of the household's income. So you know how Judge
so
said on Black
you can
Ink,
get a new wife.
she had to help pay child support for Caesar's child because it was based off household.
That's fucked
And she
up.
wasn't married to him.
No,
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah,
But
that's
both of
real
their names
fucked
was
up.
no, it was her name on the lease. That's why
Yeah.
she had to help.
she had to help.
No,
That's
they
fucked
should-
up.
They shouldn't do that.
That is.
See, I think in that case, that's all the way wrong. Because take Alex's example for it. Let's say you live with your elderly grandparents. You know what I'm saying? Is that included in the household? They have to help you take care of your child? They have to help you pay child support?
I think it is. It will be.
But if they're as elderly people, they could be on a set income.
I get what
They
you're
will,
saying. I don't
usually,
understand.
yeah.
I don't agree with it, but it would be based upon that because
Yeah,
they
that's crazy.
own the house, their name is on the lease. You're living there, so when you fill out your legal documents, they ask you, especially with the tax. Are you the only? Is your income the only one?
No, if you go out of
certain
state,
states.
in some
certain
cases.
states.
I know
I'm sorry,
somebody
y'all,
who's
that
30
was-
years old getting back child support.
That
free.
was IT Alex just joined us.
What's up?
Gotta come a little close.
Hey, come. What was you saying? What was your question?
Does it stop
In
at
my
18?
mind, I see
feel like
child
it's the
support
Breakfast
stopping
Club.
when you're 18.
it does, but if you go to college,
It carries
It
on.
stopped when you at 25.
When you go to college, it carries on.
yeah,
Yeah.
even the insurance.
Shit.
insurance,
Yeah.
yeah,
My
even
mom always
insurance.
said I was David Bowie's son, so I should do his ass.
Well, yeah, in certain cases, it does stop at 18.
Well, I just feel like,
If
all
that's
right,
your daddy,
so
your
like,
sister is really pretty, by the way.
Thanks for flashing. All right, so like child support is I've never known anyone, never been on it,
Woo.
I'm totally outside of this bubble.
I know more than 10 motherfuckers.
But like,
Whole family.
so like Caivaun brought up a good point. I feel like because he was saying like there should be checks and balances in the court systems to prevent people from taking advantage of what all of y'all have pretty much said.
Exactly.
So, how would we do that? Well, the first thing I thought of, this is all about money, going from one hand to the other, and the court seems to be the middleman. So if they're not taking, like, say there's a maintenance fee, like 5% of whatever you pay every month goes to the court so they can check up on the male and the female in the relationship and whether or not the kid is getting and receiving his due from what is, pocketed.
There's a maintenance fee, but
There is a maintenance fee?
It is.
they take a percentage. The court.
yeah, they take a percentage.
That's and if it as say I'm paying out to my ex
Court costs.
for this kid that we had that I'm a shithole dad and I just walked away from. Hypothetically, I'm not a shithole. But anyway, maybe I am.
He,
So anyway,
nah, he is.
So
He's
check
an
this out. But
asshole.
no, if I'm paying that money out, if I'm putting money into the piggy bank every month, and I've come to find out that the girl is taking money out of the piggy bank, but is not using it for the kid's education, the kid's clothing, the kid's food, all of that, the utilities, whatever, pay the fucking car note, I don't care, insurance, as long as it helps facilitate the kid have a brighter future, which at the end of the day is the only reason why the courts got involved in the first place. So if that shit is not going on and I'm paying in and they're taking a service fee, how is that not being something that's held accountable by legislation?
It's called Big Brother in government.
Like you
It's
That's
like
deep.
I see this so clear, but it's
The courts
So, I mean,
geared,
am I
geared
wrong?
towards more for the woman. Like they stand for
Well, it
the
should
woman
be
when it comes
geared
to
towards the child.
Yeah.
Fuck whether
That's
if it's a
the
man or a
perfect-
woman.
That is
That's
the perfect statement.
That in a perfect world,
It
yes,
would be
but
geared
it's
towards
not.
Right?
the
I mean,
child.
say there's two women. Well, which one's the fucking more powered?
Exactly. Which is why I said,
That's bullshit.
Yep.
Sorry.
and I'm gonna make this statement because I
Oh,
truly
you good.
believe it. I honestly don't believe the court system should be involved in the way you're supporting your child, unless absolutely necessary.
Right.
Unless absolutely necessary. Other than that, who are you to tell me how much I am to give? Say you work in a job and you make $9 an hour, but some form, some statistic somewhere says you need to pay this amount. Who are you to tell me this is the amount I need to pay?
Now, this what I do agree with now. If a child, like, they look up the records and they know that that child is living in a single parent home, a single mother home, I do think that if the father is present and they know the father and the father is in their life, like, you know how, like, like, little court cases with kids and, like, custody cases get very messy and they be like, well, he's not taking care of him or her, and they not able to show proof. I think if it's a woman and she's aware who her baby daddy is and he is in their life, I think that a man should, like you said, not, court case shouldn't get involved, but I think if they try to use a different alternative, like, okay, you're required every 6 months to show documentation that you take care of your child.
If it got to the point where it had to
Instead
go to court,
of us taking that money out your hard-earned damn money.
Where if it got to a point where it had to go to court, of course.
They're not following the money enough.
If that's the case, I will write you a check every month for child support. That way I have a
Okay, I
receipt.
have a question towards this. You say you never been on child support.
No.
So
My wife and I,
basically
my
this is
ex-wife
for
and
you.
I had
I've never been on child support.
But you have a verbal agreement with her that you basically, so it's still like child support, just not legally
Yeah, she only
binding.
She only threatens me with that if I'm not doing what she want or she want to argue, which I don't give a damn about. But
You know
what
that's
I do.
normal.
Do you think it's less stressful that you went that route, or
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say, in
I
my
don't need the
case-
court all in my business.
Exactly. In
What
my
I do
case,
too, I pay.
You
I
don't
used
want
to pay
the court
through.
all in your kid's business.
Yeah,
At all.
running through the system for that. No.
Yeah.
What I did to keep up with showing that I'm
Money
giving
orders,
money,
you know,
I did
anything.
Western Union, and I
Mhm.
keep all the receipts or take a picture of it and throw the receipt away, so it has that tracking number.
excuse me?
And now what I did was I went to my bank and I opened a sub account in my oldest
did you?
son's name. Got a card, had it mailed directly to Tampa where they live,
High five.
and and then I transfer the money to that piece of my account every time I get paid. And then she just takes the card. It's just the ATM card. You can't use it at the store. You
Right.
have to go to the ATM and take the money out.
Mm.
So
Well,
you can
it's
see
not-
every time I transferred and you took the money out.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, what you were bringing up, Marion, with like that example, like $9 an hour, but this is statute, so you have to pay this
Right.
amount regardless
Right.
of your income.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not necessarily child support, right? That's just like assistance, like poverty assistance.
No. They consider that child support.
Because a child is
because what'll
involved, like
happen is-
your monetary.
So let's say it comes up
Fuck
to you
that.
have to pay
Sorry,
$1,000 a month. I keep using that example.
that's a good example.
But 1 month you could only pay $800.
Okay.
You fall back now into what is called arrears.
Yep.
So even if you get so far back in arrears, they will come looking for you. They'll suspend your license.
They won't tell you.
Yeah.
You
You
just
know what
go
I'm
to
saying?
get your
They'll
people
garnish
pulled
your-
over and
they'll
go to
Like,
garnish
that's
your
the thing I'm
check.
talking about. Like, if they're going through that much trouble to
Mhm.
get you to pay from one pot to the other, like, does that not like come up as red flags across the board for everyone?
It
I
should.
mean, like,
I'm
It
gonna show you
should.
something that's
I'm
a
going to
major.
jeopardize this person, or maybe this person has another family. Let's just say hypothetically, this individual in whatever life or social circle that they have, job, work, social, health, mental, all that. I'm going to jeopardize that just because he missed
his
happens
payment
every day
to the child.
It happens every day.
And yet you can't even prove that money's even going
Life
to
is suspended. Now you can't get to work.
You know what I'm
so
saying?
how you
Like,
gonna
why
pay?
fuck up this family just to help?
And this is the
family?
other issue.
That
I
doesn't
have
make any sense.
with
It happens every day.
Say you working, you're making $15 an hour, and like you said, $1,000 a month for a child. Then maybe you make a product, or you get into music. Now you big. Now you worth $10 million. Now all of a sudden they're trying to tell you that $1,000 a month was enough to raise your child, but now since you're a millionaire,
it's not
it's
enough.
$10,000 a month.
Right.
How?
Because
that totally makes sense.
Because what they say
Class.
is that child deserves to live the same lifestyle you live.
I wouldn't even say that.
Even though this is what they are
I
telling
wouldn't.
you.
I take the word deserve out of
This
it.
is what the court will tell you.
Yeah.
But understand something.
Your child should look better than you.
Whether I have $10 million in the bank or not, what if I choose to
Not
live a
kind of.
modest lifestyle?
Right. And the thing about it is, and the thing about it is also this:
That's
if
how
you
I
had that child in your custody, you would not be spending $10,000 a month on that
Of
child.
course not.
Like, you just not doing it.
Right.
Even if they're private school or whatever, private school does not cost that much money. You're not about to spend $10,000 a month for that child if it's in your custody. But for some reason, if somebody else has a child, you got to send them $10,000 a month. That's ridiculous.
Very much so.
So so it's like you don't want to get rich if you have to pay child support, because they can go and be like, okay, now since you're doing so well, now we need to pay a lot more than what you were paying.
Very much so.
So $1,000 is fine, but
right when you were making this amount.
yeah, but not since you're a
I
millionaire.
totally disagree with that statement 100%.
Why?
There's the word deserve in there. I agree that the child should receive more financial assistance based off of an increased financial assistance due to the fact that one person in the family makes a shit ton more money than they used to in the past. Okay? And the only reason why I say that is you don't want to breed a center in this kid, because I'm thinking of the child. You don't want to breed a center of this kid's core, who they are, as like entitled. Okay, sure, you deserve this because the court says you deserve this because your dad's rich, right? That's not fucking healthy.
Right.
But I think they should get that money just because things like jealousy, emotional instability. You got your mom who's fucking poor. You only get $1,000 a month. Your dad
That don't look right.
It doesn't look right because now you see your dad fucking, let's say you said rock star. He's got a private jet or something. Like that doesn't make sense in the kid's
But this
head.
the thing.
And that
Let's-
imbalance
then-
in the kid growing up causes
Switch that situation because it happens every day now, where the father's the poor one,
That's what I'm saying.
paying
it doesn't
into
matter.
it, and the mother has more money.
could be
But
male
no
or
one
female.
looks at it that way.
Right.
Well, that's the first part of this whole thing that needs to be fucking turned on its head.
Exactly.
Yeah. The thing
That's
about
what I'm
it
saying.
is
No
very
one looks at
geared.
it that way.
It's very, very geared towards women.
Because what happens is, what'll happen is,
Society had always geared women towards that role, so that's why you got that, and that's
But
why we're getting backlash.
what'll happen is, let's say that's the case. You're paying $1,000 a month, and the mother gets a great job. She's making 6 figures now.
Sweet.
Your child support doesn't drop.
Shit, she got dick support?
But the father's child support now does not drop. You see my point? The father's child support doesn't drop now because the mother's making more money.
Yeah.
Well, here's the question. Do they raise the father's child support because of the female's increased income?
No.
No, they don't raise it.
Because that would be like the ultimate knife in the back. Like, by the way, you
now
don't
you gotta
make
pay
any
more
more
'cause
money,
she-
but your girl does,
Right,
so
so
here's
you
something-
gotta pay 10 times.
Here's something that goes hand in hand with child support too. Alimony. Where people get a divorce
You mean pussy support?
and now the man has to pay the woman. No matter what happens, you know what I'm saying? She can cheat on him and kick him out the house, blah, blah, blah. But in certain states, even though she did infidelity, he still has to pay her money monthly.
Well, it's a
certain
deeper
lifestyle.
thing with that
But
because a woman has to
alimony
present
isn't-
that she deserves alimony.
Right.
And if she's making 6 figures and y'all divorced, if you's able to
You
afford
have
that
to
damn
agree on
divorce, then he can't have to give you alimony now. It just depends on the state because you really have to think
Yeah.
deep on that.
And
I've
you-
been
the
to
state,
a
'cause
lot of
unfortunately,
family members that have
Women will
divorced.
use this whole use to a certain lifestyle kind of
They
thing.
dig deeper.
Which makes just because I'm used to a certain lifestyle, okay, but if I'm rich and you poor and then we get married, I don't say you could get used to that lifestyle, but that was a lifestyle you had already.
That's the punishment for marriage in this country is supposed to be solid. That's the punishment for getting married. You didn't honor those vows, so now you got to deal with it.
And that's, but like I said, but even if she does infinite, but listen to that, she didn't honor the vows, but he still has to pay alimony.
She can sue for it during the divorce. It doesn't have to be
walking into it.
Okay.
And that's why less men are getting married today.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Like 3 out of every 4 marriages fail.
Well, I won't say the
that
example you said was kind of like it was like
one.
geared towards women. It's like they're the ones why the failing marriages. 9 times out of 10, statistically, the men are the ones that step out.
All I can say is my divorce was very amicable.
Yeah.
Me and my ex-wife were still real cool. We had no issues with alimony, child support, none of that. Amicable across the board.
That was
in
my opinion, that was an example. Like
I'm laughing
you
at
really
Barrett's
can't
perfect life.
nobody can really go back and forth with it. It's like an
For
equal
me, it worked
thing.
out well.
It's like to say a woman cheats and a man cheats this. That's the same. Like a woman still have to pay alimony, even if a dude cheat on her and they get a divorce. That didn't happen before, so it's like an equal thing. Men cheat, women cheat. You know,
All right,
nobody
so
cheats
put
no
yourself in
more
that
than or
perspective.
less.
Are we done?
All right. And on that note, we will take a break for the first part of the podcast. Stay tuned for part 2.